Big Hollywood split, a power couple, Clint and Dina Eastwood. She just filed for a legal separation after 17 years of marriage.
The life of legendary actor and director Clint Eastwood, who is renowned for his imposing presence and steely look, is just as captivating as any of the characters he has played on screen. Eastwood's rise from humble origins to prominence in Hollywood is a monument to his brilliance, tenacity, and unwavering willpower. But beneath his well-known profession is a life replete with personal tragedies, ranging from a difficult upbringing to the psychological effects of early career setbacks. Eastwood had a difficult time becoming famous. This in-depth account goes further into Eastwood's life, examining the difficulties he encountered, the turning points in his professional life, and his nuanced interpersonal relationships, demonstrating how these aspects have molded the legend that he has become. Early years. Clint Eastwood was born on May 31, 1930, at St. Francis Hospital in San Francisco. He made a dramatic entrance into the world. The shocked nurses gave him the nickname Samson because of his massive 11-pound weight. English, Scottish, Dutch, German, and Irish ancestry could all be found in the family tree of his parents, Ruth Runner, and Clinton Eastwood Sr. Clint's family tree contains an intriguing Mayflower passenger somewhere. His early existence took on an additional dimension when Jean, his younger sister, joined the family later on. The Eastwood family had difficult times throughout the 1930s. To find a stable profession, Clinton Sr. experimented with a variety of vocations, including sales and detective work in San Francisco. During this time, Clint was frequently moving, so stability was a rare find for him. In contrast to their previous struggles, Piedmont, California, an upscale neighborhood, provided the family with some sort of stability by 1940. Even though his family was financially secure, Clint's early school years were anything but easy. He struggled academically and had to make up lost time in summer school at Piedmont Junior High because of his low marks. During his time at Piedmont High School, he gained attention for his antics, which included a blazing effigy on the school lawn and an offensive message on the scoreboard. This revealed his rebellious nature. He was expelled for these disobedient actions and moved to Oakland Technical High School. Clint's teachers at Oakland Tech saw his ability and pushed him to take part in school productions. Eastwood, though, had other interests. He was more preoccupied with fast cars, girls, and his hobbies, tuning vehicles, golf, and tennis. He was a promising basketball player, but he liked to be alone himself. He even studied airplane maintenance and developed such advanced piano skills that his fingers started to bleed from practice. Clint's scholastic record remained murky despite his skill, and some acquaintances, like Fritz Mask, speculate that he may have left school early to lead a more carefree lifestyle. When his father moved to Seattle in the beginning of 1949, Clint was left to reside with his friend Harry Pendleton in Oakland. During this time in his life, he was fortunate enough to meet famed film director Howard Hawks at a party in Malibu after receiving an invitation. This meeting was a pivotal moment that eventually led to Eastwood's Hollywood debut. Clint had a variety of jobs before to become well known, such as logging in Springfield, Oregon, and working as a lifeguard after earning his Red Cross certification. He demonstrated his range of skills by playing the ragtime piano in an Oakland bar. Despite his crazy and unsteady beginning, these encounters helped him succeed in the movie business later on. Was his path paved by natural ability and fortunate events, or was fate leading him from the start? The narrative around Clint Eastwood is about to get much more fascinating, so stay tuned. Serving in the military and experiencing near death. Clint Eastwood's life took an unexpected turn in 1951 when he was drafted into the Army to fight in Korea. Despite being sent to a fairly safe position at Fort Ord, California, Eastwood had an unusual adventure. A normal journey from Seattle to his camp on September 30th, 1951, turned terrifying on that day. Almost immediately after takeoff, Eastwood's aircraft ran into severe weather. When the plane's rear door flew wide, jeopardizing its structural integrity, the situation rapidly got worse. The plane's oxygen supply and communications failed, and even though Clint quickly thought of a temporary solution, the mayhem just got worse. Fuel was running low quickly, leaving the crew and passengers in a terrible situation. The pilot chose to ditch the jet into the ocean because he had no other choice. Eastwood and the pilot were thrust into a difficult survival situation by this choice. Holding onto life rafts, they battled the merciless ocean. Their danger increased because of the constant fear of sharks. Clint was thrown into the icy water when the ferocity of the waves tore his raft apart. Tired and lost, he struggled against the environment and his waning power as he swam through the bioluminescent waves. He was trying to keep afloat when the unsettling brightness of the water caused him to experience unsettling hallucinations. Eventually, Eastwood found an RCA radio station where he was reunited with the pilot, who had also survived the terrifying adventure, in a remarkable act of perseverance. This near-death experience had a lasting impact on Eastwood, profoundly shaping his subsequent career. A few years later, Eastwood played Frank Morris in the movie Escape from Alcatraz, in which he recounted the story of how he famously swam across the frigid waters of San Francisco Bay to escape the infamous island jail. How Morris's escape was portrayed in the movie was remarkably similar to Eastwood's survival tale. Eastwood's portrayal was imbued with an authenticity that transcended simple acting, owing to the profound personal experience he underwent. His portrayal gained depth from his real-life battle with the elements, which could only come from someone who has experienced such great adversity. Early professional years and major events. Following his time in the armed forces, Clint Eastwood's career took off. He began his career. During the beginning of his career, Clint Eastwood was signed to a contract with Universal Pictures, where he starred in numerous low-budget films and television shows. Although Eastwood gained a variety of acting skills during this formative time, his rise to popularity was ignited by his performance in the television series Rawhide. Between 1959 and 1965, Eastwood portrayed the tough and likable cowboy Rowdy Yates. His portrayal of Yates captured the hearts of the public and greatly increased his profile, making him a rising star in the entertainment business. But it was Eastwood's portrayal of the man with no name in Sergio Leone's Dollars trilogy that thrust him into the public eye around the globe. A Fistful of Dollars, 1964, For a Few Dollars More, 1965, and The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, 1966, comprised the trilogy, which marked a turning point in Eastwood's professional life. Because of their Italian roots, these movies, often referred to as spaghetti westerns, were distinguished by their stark, violent realism and their enduring Ennio Morricone soundtracks. With these flicks, Eastwood gave a groundbreaking performance that offered a novel and mysterious interpretation of the Western genre. In addition to being a critical and commercial success, the Dollars trilogy solidified Eastwood's position as a powerful figure in Hollywood. The film's avant-garde aesthetic and Eastwood's portrayal of a melancholic anti-hero transformed the Western subgenre and made a lasting impression on the film industry. With this newfound notoriety, Eastwood was able to take on more jobs and establish himself as a major player in the motion picture business. In the 1970s, Eastwood's career took a further turn after the 1960s. He abandoned the Western genre and took on more modern parts, such as the gritty, uncompromising San Francisco policeman Harry Callahan in the 1971 film Dirty Harry. Thanks to his famous phrase, "Do you feel lucky, punk?" Eastwood's tough guy persona has become closely associated with the role of Dirty Harry. Because of the movie's success, Eastwood became a household name in Hollywood's leading man pantheon, and multiple sequels were produced. Further showcasing his range were the movies The Gauntlet, 1977, and Thunderbolt and Lightfoot, 1974, in which Eastwood captivated viewers with gripping performances. His versatility was furthered by his ability to go with ease from the tough cowboy to the gritty urban cop, further cementing his influence on film. By the late 1970s, Eastwood was not only a well-known actor, but also a major force in creating the action genre, capturing the essence of a time that was hungry for heroes who were nuanced and powerful. The birth of Laurie Murray, the result of a covert romance, was one of the most prominent consequences of Eastwood's philandering. Both Laurie's existence and her adoption took place without Eastwood's awareness. Eastwood didn't find out about Laurie's existence until the 1990s. It was through a private investigator that she had learned of her biological father. There is still uncertainty about the circumstances surrounding this disclosure. Some speculate that Eastwood might have been actively looking for Laurie, while others think he was just not aware of her until her quest brought them together. Another kid of an affair, Kimberly Eastwood, was also a part of Eastwood's convoluted personal life. There were several challenges in Kimberly's connection with her father. While some testimonies indicate a semblance of connection, others highlight irritation and feelings of desertion. In addition to complicating his personal life, Eastwood's relationship with Kimberly was tense and frequently unclear, which brought attention to the difficulties he experienced in maintaining a balance between his public and private lives. On the set of Rawhide, Eastwood's relationship with stuntwoman Roxanne Tunis began with a passionate beginning that resulted in the birth of their daughter Kimber. Their relationship was difficult from the start, even though they clicked right away. Due to his ongoing history of deceit and secrecy, Eastwood's relationships with other women, such as Sandra Locke and Jocelyn Reeves, as well as his personal life, became more difficult. In 1972, while Eastwood was still wed to Johnson, Sandra Locke came into his life. Their passionate beginnings quickly gave way to a turbulent relationship. Locke's charges against Eastwood, which included claims that he had promised her false things and forced her to have an abortion, resulted in a drawn-out and difficult judicial struggle. The emotional and legal ramifications of their tumultuous relationship exposed the darker sides of Eastwood's private life and added complexity to his already complex personal life. The friendship between Eastwood and flight attendant Jocelyn Reeves added yet another level of intricacy. Scott and Catherine, the two offspring of this union, were born. It was widely known that Eastwood was Reeves's child's father, even though the two of them maintained a rather secret relationship. Eastwood's marriage to Dana Ruiz was further strained by this affair in addition to his past romances. It was challenging for Eastwood to establish steady, amicable relationships because of the ongoing media attention and the public aspect of his personal life. Later, career and persistent achievement. The 1980s and early 1990s saw a dramatic shift in Clint Eastwood's career as he started to take on roles that required greater depth and reflection. This period distinguished himself from his previous, more uncomplicated tough guy persona and demonstrated his versatility as an actor and director. His new focus, which reflected a deeper, more complex grasp of human nature, included protagonists battling inner turmoil and psychological demons. His performance as a pilot suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD, in the 1982 movie Firefox, is one prominent illustration of this change. The movie, which blended science fiction and espionage themes, demonstrated Eastwood's talent for portraying people who are profoundly impacted by their experiences. Similar to this, Eastwood portrayed a police officer who gets mixed up in a string of gruesome killings in Tightrope, 1984. This character was also troubled by his history, and Eastwood's portrayal of him was realistic and nuanced, showcasing his growing versatility. But Unforgiven, 1992, which combined his recognizable Western heritage with a deep examination of violence and atonement, was the film that genuinely represented a high point in Eastwood's career. As the film's director and main performer, Eastwood reinterpreted the Western genre by giving it a brutally honest look at its deep moral issues. The movie earned Best Picture and Best Director at the Academy Awards, among other accolades, highlighting its popularity among critics. In addition to demonstrating Eastwood's growth as an artist, Unforgiven solidified his reputation as a visionary director, capable of reimagining beloved genres with a contemporary touch. Eastwood kept pushing the envelope of his profession throughout the late 1990s and early 2000s, helming a string of successful movies that cemented his standing. The 2004 film $1 Million Baby exceptionally demonstrated his directing prowess. The moving story about a female boxer who faces adversity was well praised and took home multiple Academy Awards, including Best Picture and Best Director. Eastwood demonstrated his ability to approach emotionally charged subjects with depth and authenticity with his delicate representation of the film's themes of resilience and personal hardship. Another noteworthy addition to Eastwood's discography around this time was Mystic River, 2003. Based on Dennis Lehane's book, the gripping crime thriller examined issues of pain, guilt, and justice. High marks were given to Eastwood's direction, which led to another nomination for the Academy Award for Best Director. Eastwood's versatility and ability to tackle difficult and modern topics were further showcased by the film's intricate character studies and compelling narrative. Participation in politics and public persona. Clint Eastwood's public character frequently mirrors his personal values and political beliefs, emphasizing his independence and involvement in a range of social and political concerns. Recognized for his honesty and dedication to his convictions, Eastwood's impact reaches beyond the entertainment industry into the larger political and cultural sphere. Eastwood's 1986-1988 tenure as mayor of Carmel-by-the-Sea, California, marked a turning point in his political career. He actively addressed community issues throughout his time there, one of which was maintaining the town's unique charm and uniqueness. His hands-on approach was demonstrated by his attempts to keep the town's visual charm, while addressing matters like environmental protection and local growth. During his tenure as mayor, Eastwood demonstrated his commitment to volunteerism and his capacity to transfer his Hollywood leadership abilities to local government. Eastwood has been a strong advocate for conservative causes and Republican politicians in recent years, aligning himself with ideologies that are consistent with his personal beliefs. His comments and endorsements in public have generated controversy as well as acclaim. Eastwood's advocacy of specific political individuals and his criticism of different programs have sparked a great deal of discussion, demonstrating his dedication to his beliefs even when they conflict with the views of the majority. Although his political outspokenness has made him a divisive figure, it also shows that he is willing to actively participate in politics and defend his positions. Clint Eastwood's influence on the film business is extensive and profound. As an actor, director, and producer, Eastwood has made major contributions throughout his multi-decade career, making a lasting impression on Hollywood. His distinct fusion of tough masculinity, moral nuance, and creative vision has impacted a great number of performers and directors. Through his work, Eastwood has redefined genres and raised the bar for filmmaking, demonstrating his adaptability and inventiveness in a constantly changing profession. The countless awards and recognitions that Eastwood has accumulated over his career serve to further solidify his legacy. Among these are the American Film Institute Life Achievement Award, which honors his career of accomplishments in film, and the esteemed French Legion of Honor, which is given for his contributions to culture and cinema. In addition, he received the Presidential Medal of Freedom, which is among the nation's highest civilian awards, in recognition of his contributions to American society and culture. These honors are a testament to his creative achievements, as well as his larger impact on society and culture. Beyond his successes in film, Eastwood has shown a dedication to humanitarianism and philanthropy. His commitment to giving back to the community is demonstrated by his participation in many charitable endeavors. Eastwood has demonstrated his commitment to using his riches and influence for good by supporting many charities that promote the arts, education, and humanitarian causes. His charitable endeavors demonstrate his dedication to promoting social progress and solidifying his reputation as a person who goes beyond entertainment to have a significant impact on society. Thoughts on a prolonged career. Clint Eastwood's observations on his remarkable career clearly show that he has overcome numerous challenges in addition to achievements. From his early losses and personal sorrows to his rise to popularity in Hollywood, Clint Eastwood's life narrative inspires persistence, skill, and fortitude. His capacity to effectively negotiate the demands of notoriety, human relationships, and artistic aspirations has solidified his reputation as among the most significant figures in the movie business. All taken together, Clint Eastwood's life and work offer a fascinating study of the human condition and the search for excellence. His persistence, originality, and unquestionable commitment to his job are demonstrated by his development from a troubled young man to a Hollywood icon. As Eastwood guides the path of movies and inspires the next generations, his legacy still inspires and appreciates